There's Mario Barrios. What's up, Mario? How's everything?
What's up, my brother? Everything's good, man.
Well, tell me about how training camp has been like. This is a big fight for you against Keith Thurman on pay-per-view in Las Vegas. How's camp been like? I see it seems a little bit cold where you are in the northern part of California.
Yeah, no, we're actually in Vegas now. This is where, we're going to finish up camp. But, I mean, I've had a great camp, with Virgil Hunter in the Bay Area. And, I mean, I'm just, excited, for February 5th.
When did you get to Las Vegas, Mario?
We got to Vegas a few days ago.
So you're up in the mountains right now? It seems like you're up in the mountains.
Nah, we're actually, not too far from the strip. It's cold as hell out here.
Okay, I got you, man. Well, let me ask you this. Your last fight against Javonte Davis was your pay-per-view headliner debut. I think you showed a lot of resiliency in that fight. A lot of fans really said the kind of heart, the determination that you showed. What did you learn in that fight?
We learned a lot, but ultimately, man, I was just I was glad to just be able to go out there and display my boxing ability. I had always told everybody I'm a warrior whenever I step into that ring, but I'm also a very smart fighter. I've always had great boxing IQ, and I feel like in that fight I was really able to display that.
The one thing I was hearing, just overtures and people's talking, around, not necessarily in your circle, but around your circle, is that you had outgrown 140. When did you feel that way? Was this fight against Javonte, win or lose, going to be your last fight at 140? Because that's the sense that I got being there during fight week in Atlanta in the summertime.
Yeah. I mean, even before the Javonte fight was made, we're already looking at, testing the waters out because, I was already at 140 for about 5 years. And we were just noticing, fight after fight, it was getting just, a little bit harder, to make the weight. I have a very big frame, especially, for junior welterweight, even welterweight, I'm still bigger than a lot of the fighters. And but yeah, it was a long time coming. I know, but the time is here, and now we're facing one time, and I mean I'm excited.
When they called you guys and your manager, number one, who called you, and what was your response? Because to me, when I heard that fight, I'm like, whoa! Like typically we hear, there's chatter about, names start coming up, but they kept this so tight-lipped that it wasn't until the fight was official that it's like, hey, we're getting Thurman, and I was like, we're getting Barrios too? Like, whoa, like it caught everybody off guard because it wasn't even talked about, because I don't think it was officially made by you that, yeah, I am going up to 47, but credit to everyone for keeping it under wraps. How did the whole process go down, Mario?
I mean, well, we're looking, to move up, regardless, so, I mean, we're looking at, getting back in the ring at sometime in January. And, but when I got the call, if, what I think about a fight with Keith Thurman, I told my manager, Luis de Cubas Jr., I was like, let's do it. Like that, these are the type of fights that I want to keep on bringing, I've never been the one, to shy away from a fight. There's never been a name that I have said no to. And that's the same mentality I plan on keeping throughout my career.
The one thing we hear about fighting at the pay-per-view level is that it's different, that there's more obligations, there's more media interviews. Do you feel with this being your second go-around as a pay-per-view headliner is going to benefit you, that you now know what to expect and how to handle it? Because it's one thing to hear about it before and kind of be around it because you did fight on pay-per-view before. It's another thing, though, when you are the co-headliner and your name is on the marquee as a part of the main event.
Yeah, I mean, the last fight with with Tank, that was the first time I had ever really dealt with all that. All the media, just everything that comes with fighting on pay-per-view, headlining the major cards. It was a lot, to take in at first, but I mean, I stayed focused, throughout all of it, and now the opportunity is here, to headline pay-per-view for a second time. And, I mean, I'm done. I'm just thankful. And, but, I definitely, now I have, a little bit more experience, with what comes with all that. And but still, just as focused. My training and everything has been first and foremost, and then the interviews and everything else that comes with it, has been second. But like I said, I mean, this is a big opportunity again, and I'm just excited, to go out there February 5th again.
Is it crazy to think, I saw a photo I think that you posted yesterday on your Instagram, that you fought on the very first PBC show when PBC was born in the early part of March of 2015. You were fighting on the undercard. Keith Thurman fought Robert Guerrero in the main event. It's just unbelievable to think that less than 7 years later, here you are going to make that walk in Las Vegas at the Michelob Ultra Arena, Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, and the man standing across the ring from you, Keith Thurman, is the guy who was in the main event when you fought in Vegas when you were, I think, barely 7-0.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just posted that, and now it's 7 years later. I'm the one that's now headlining the card. Fighting against the same name whose undercard I was on 7 years back. And I remember that first fight I had at the MGM, and I remember just thinking like, man, like what's it gonna be like when I'm the one in the main event. And but that time is here. And I'm looking, to grab this, opportunity, fully, ultimately. I'm excited, and I'm very prepared for this fight.
So physically, how are you feeling here at 147? Is it how much of a difference is there between how you used to prepare for 140 and 147? Is it the fact that now you don't necessarily have to really be so concerned about making the weight and everything else? You can actually enjoy food, or what's that process been like?
It's still just being an athlete. Still very disciplined. When it comes to the eating, only because I'm moving up in weight. When I tell people that, they kind of assume like, oh, that's cool. You can just eat whatever. Like, nah, like I still I'm still a professional athlete. I'm still even though I got 7 pounds to work with, cutting weight, it's never fun. And but it's just 147 is just a lot more natural for my body. So but we know with this move up, I'm gonna be a lot more comfortable. I'm gonna be a lot more explosive, because I'm gonna have that. I'm not having to take out those extra last 3 or 4 pounds that that feel like life and death. But yeah, man, I'm just it's a lot more comfortable.
And what are you hoping that your performance on February 5th does, and what do you want it to show the rest of the division?
I'm looking to make my presence known with this fight. Keith Thurman, he's coming with a lot to prove, especially with him coming off of a layoff. And I'm coming off of my first defeat, and so I'm coming with just as much to prove. I'm looking to make my presence known in the welterweight division.
Where do you feel like you have the advantages against Keith Thurman? Not giving away your game plan, but where do you think that you could be successful against him? The one thing that he told me yesterday, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I'm sure you'll be able to take a look at it over the next day or two, is that he talked about the height difference. The fact that he knows he's got to find a way to get on the inside against you. So where do you think that you might have the edge against him?
Age right now, the height, if anything, I've been fighting, shorter fighters my whole career. Everybody I fought with, it's always been, them trying to find their way on the inside. So, I mean, that's no different, with this fight. But, like I said, I have had a great camp. I'm excited, and we have a great game plan going into this fight. Not looking past, or looking over Keith Thurman at all. He's a very dangerous fighter, coming with a lot to prove. But I have confidence in my preparation, and the work that we have put in this camp. It has been it's been something else.
Is this the hardest camp you've ever been in?
By far, yeah.
By far.
Yeah, by far.
Why so?
We really took things to the next level. With the sparring, with everything. With the preparation, strength and conditioning. Everything, has been great. And, but I'm going to be able, to show everybody that come February 5th.
When you say take it to the next level, do you mean that it's harder, that it's more physical, that your body now, because you are 26 years of age, if I'm correct, right?
Correct.
That now you're in the prime of your physical career, that you can handle this? I mean, has it just been a little bit more physical than what has been in the past?
Yeah, it's been a little bit more physical, more mental than anything, just bouncing back from the loss, I'm hungrier than ever. I'm looking, to make a statement, come February 5th, and just like I said, put all this work that I've been putting in, finally put it to use.
When I watch your fights, because I have followed your career for a long time, and I remember when you fought New Jersey against Davis Boschero back on ESPN, I think that was July of 2016, if I'm correct. I feel like you are a young veteran because you have been fighting on television for such a long time. And the fact that you're only 26 years of age now, and I'm already going back over 5 years. So it was like, you were 21, 20 fighting on national television. Do you feel like a young veteran at this stage of your career?
Yeah, I think you could say that, like how you said, I've been on, these major cards, for a very long time, since I was 7-0, I fought on one of the first, PBC cards. And, I have already had, multiple fights, multiple fights that have gone championship rounds. I've been on the big stage plenty of times. And, so I think I could call myself a young veteran. I'm able to take all those experiences, and apply them now, now that, I'm headlining pay-per-view once again. And it's been a journey for sure, but, there's still so much work that I still got to do.
When I watch your fights, and I've watched you progress in your career, Mario, I've noticed that in these, probably since when you fought Batirak Medov, that's the fight that really stands out to me in terms of being a back and forth, a war, right? And I'm seeing and I'm sensing that you like to get involved in these wars. I mean, literally, I know you're known as El Azteca. You came out, with the Javonte Davis fight. You had a wonderful entrance with, a tribute to your Aztec culture and your Mexican culture. But is that fair to say that you just love getting involved in these toe-to-toe, back-and-forth fights? Because I feel like you really thrive on that.
Yeah, like I said, I like, to bring that entertainment whenever I fight. And, my team, we always go into the fight, with a very smart game plan. It's always, the art of boxing is hit and I get hit. But a lot of times it doesn't work that way. But, I've never shied away from a firefight. And, that's another reason why, this fight is it's so exciting. Because I know, Thurman is coming with it. He's looking to prove a point. But, so am I. And, both of us, we have the styles where we don't like to, back down, from anything. So, it's going to be a very explosive night.
So Keith Thurman told me yesterday that the WBC has been weighing him in and coming and doing weight checks. Have they been doing the same for you? Because I got clarification, or it looked like I saw in Boxing Scene, Jake Donovan actually wrote an article stating that this is an eliminator fight, but it's not a final eliminator fight. Is that what you've been told, or how's that? Tell us about what's been going on in your end.
Yeah, we got we got note that it is a limit and eliminator, and the WBC has been checking weights. Also enrolled in Nevada for this fight, and but yeah, it's a big opportunity.
We'll talk about making a splash here at 147, even though it's not a final eliminator fight. For those that don't know, final eliminator, just for the common viewer, a final eliminator means you win the fight, then you get a title shot. This is not a final eliminator fight. Essentially, this is taking you to that final eliminator fight. Is that what you're under the assumption of, Mario?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just getting us, we're getting, that one step closer, to getting close to a title shot.
Yeah, but what about a splash? I mean, it's not like you're coming in taking a tune-up fight at 147. You're like, okay, let me fight a former world champion that held not one but two belts.
Yeah, when we're talking about moving up, there was there was plenty of fights that I could have took, that would have been a lot safer. That probably a lot of people would have took, rather than fighting Keith Thurman. But that's not the type of fighter that I am. And like I said, man, I want to continue on bringing these exciting fights, against the big names, against the names that that people aren't trying to fight. Those are the type of fights that get me excited.
I want to talk about some of the members of your team. I think that you have a great team. You have a team that really appreciates and admires what you do, but you all work together in unison. I think one of the best managers that we've ever seen in the past 20 to 30 years is Louis DeCubas Jr. Can you tell us about what Louis has meant to you and the guidance and, his plan, his vision to see you sort of evolve into fighting on these big stages?
Absolutely. I have, everything I have, is, because of, the help of Louis DeCubas. He was the one that, he took a chance with me when, before I turned pro. He was the only one, when we were calling, we literally made a list of managers and promoters, when I was trying to turn pro, calling everybody. And Louis DeCubas was the only one, who ultimately, took a chance with me. And, so everything that has unfolded with my career, I have him to thank, along with Al Heyman, Bob Santos. I have had a great team from the very jump. And, we have accomplished a lot together. And there's still a lot of work to accomplish.
So as we get set for your matchup on Saturday, February 5th, what are you hoping the fans take away after they watch your fight against Keith Thurman? What are you hoping the fans say?
I'm just hoping they enjoy the fight. This isn't, a fight that you want to miss. My, the first fight at welterweight, like how you say, I'm looking, to make a splash ultimately. But, I know, Keith Thurman, he's coming, he's trying to prove a point as well. And, but I mean, it's going to be a great night of boxing, from the very beginning of the card to the main event.
I know you're fighting in Vegas. That's where every prize fighter wants to compete and display their talent. But you're also a kid from San Antonio, Texas. When you fought there the two times that I remember, once at the Alamo Dome, when that was on the undercard of Javonte Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, and then when you fought at the Freeman Coliseum, that place was rocking for you when you knocked out Yudi Bernardo. But what are you hoping, what do you want to tell the fans down in San Antonio? And has there been a thought process about, hey, at some point I want to go back home to headline my own show?
Oh, definitely. Man, I say it all the time, in all my interviews, and anytime I'm on camera, man, I appreciate and love everybody, in San Antonio that supports me, that has been behind me. They're part of the reason too, bouncing back from this loss, it wasn't something that kept me down for very long, Anytime I was out, there was people that would recognize me and that would just, embrace me. They were just they're very proud, and that makes me proud, to walk into that ring every time and represent my city, represent everything I stand for. But I mean, everybody from San Antonio, man, I appreciate y'all. I already have, my messages have been blown up since the fight announcement, that I know San Antonio is going to be, the presence is going to be here in Vegas that night, because there's going to be a lot of people coming to the fight.
Mario, I told you after the fight, I was able to see you in the locker room area, and I go, look, I thought that, your stock rose after that fight because of what you displayed against Javonte Davis. Is there too much of an emphasis on protecting that undefeated record? Because, look, it's impressive when people have undefeated records, But just because you lose once or twice to me doesn't mean anything. Losing is a part of sports. Everybody, there's only a handful of guys, small, minute amount, that don't ever lose. Losing's a part of sports in general. Do you think there's too much of an emphasis on the undefeated record?
I think there definitely is, you know, and you know, that's part of the reason. You know, I mean, I never go into a fight expecting loss or even, you know, preparing for one. Especially, you know, even given, you know, with the last fight, you know, I went in there, you know, doing what I could, you know, to secure that victory. But you know, there's right now, you know, especially in boxing, there's a lot of great fighters, you know, who aren't fighting each other, and but you know, that's basically what I'm not trying to be like. You know, that's why I'm taking, you know, the fights that nobody else wants to take. That's why, you know, I'm getting these fights, you know, with the dangerous opponents. You know, I just want to keep on bringing that excitement to the sport of boxing and you know, the world of sports in general.
What I like about you, Mario, not just because we're talking, but this is just what I've seen, especially, you know, in recent memories, that you don't fight safe. You don't fight, you don't fight, where carelessly, but you don't fight safe either. You go for it. You try to bring it to your opponent. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I could agree with that. Anytime I step into, you know, the boxing ring, you know, I'm in there, you know, I'm throwing with bad intentions. You know, I'm in there, you know, I like to think, you know, I'm a pretty nice dude, you know, outside of the ring, but inside of the ring, you know, I'm in there to hurt you. You know, I'm in there, you know, to do what I have to, you know, to make sure that I walk out victorious.
And finally, Mario, what do you want to tell Keith Thurman as you prepare for your matchup on Saturday, February 5th? I'll get your prediction after that.
All I'll say is, man, you know, make sure you're ready because, I mean, come February 5th, I'm coming.
Mario Barrios, ladies and gentlemen. Mario, how's it going down? Perfect world. How does your fight end?
The perfect world, you know, any way, you know, where I'm able to walk out, you know, with my hand raised.
Well, Mario, greatly appreciated, my man, a fellow long-suffering Paris fan like me. Appreciate you taking the time out. We're going to have a new coach and a new GM, so hopefully it'll give us some room of optimism.
Right on, brother. Always good talking to you.
Awesome, Mario. Really appreciate it. We'll see you during fight week, brother.
Hey, see you guys.